I want to talk a little bit about being overstimulated today and some positive ways to combat when we're feeling that way. It is the holiday season and it can layer on really quick and really easy. I've done a lot of episodes about this in the recent past, and I feel like it still needs hit because it just keeps showing up for me. So maybe if it's showing up for me, it's showing up for you. If you think of one of your mom friends during this episode, please send it their way, and let's grow women and mothers who want to find positivity in pregnancy and motherhood. Hi, I'm Jocelyn, host of the Positive in Pregnancy and Motherhood podcast. I help pregnant women and mothers to find positivity in their season of life through changing their thoughts to work for them and not against them. I help mothers find the small, doable steps in thought and action without making drastic changes to their everyday mom life. And I can help you. Thanks for joining. This time of year, the sun is going down much sooner. The weather outside is frigid and it's cold. And the opportunity to send your kids outdoors might be a little less than it is during the summer. This can contribute to the feeling of overwhelm, cabin fever, and feeling like you're stuck because you can't really send your kids outside. It's dark or it's cold, and everybody's just going crazy from being cooped up inside. I don't know if you have felt this at all in your motherhood, but I have had moments where I have felt this in my motherhood, and I wanted to talk a little bit about dealing with that overwhelm and 3 ways that can help you deal with it positively. As I like to preface, and this will be the preface, and then I'll jump into the 3 steps, sometimes we just have to feel the overwhelm. I have come to learn that suppressing the negative emotions, so suppressing the overwhelm, does not help you to feel positive. It actually builds that negative emotion and you get bottled up. And then when you get bottled up, you just feel more of it until it blows. And it usually blows on someone that you wish you wouldn't have, or sometimes you say things you wish you wouldn't have, or get impatient, or so many other things that can happen when we get bottled up, or mostly who we blow up on and maybe say things to them that we wish we wouldn't say. And that's kind of what we want to prevent, because when we get overwhelmed and we end up blowing up and saying things to people we love that we don't, it can kind of hurt the relationship. And oftentimes they are things we are feeling because we are just hot on emotions, and they come out. But the higher us would like to do things a little bit better and not so haphazardly. Like have some more intentionality with handling the relationships, with handling our emotions, and being the moms that we know we can be and that we know that God wants us to be. So sometimes, I'm finally getting there, we need to take time to just feel that emotion. Because as you just sit there and say, I feel overwhelmed, and you allow yourself to feel it, you actually process it. And it is a lot easier to get out of your body than to just suppress it and say, no, I'm not going to think about that right now. I'll push it down till later. So feeling that emotion is going to really help when it comes to these next 3 things. Take 2 or 3 minutes to just let yourself feel the overwhelm. And then once you've done that, try these things. So the first thing I want to talk about is to breathe. It has hit me from like 2 or 3 different sources lately how powerful breath can be. Now, our bodies naturally breathe, but we also can, I don't know if force is the word, but make ourselves breathe deeper if we want to. So you can take some big deep breaths in and some big deep breaths out. In the book I've been reading, she talked that women tend to be shallow breathers. That means we don't get very deep breaths. We just are kind of hustling and hurrying from one thing to the next and doing the list and being with the kids and helping the husband, that we forget to take some deep breaths. So when you are feeling overwhelmed, and after you've felt that overwhelm, try doing some deep breathing. I've actually tried to implement this into my day. It's mostly been in the evening when I'm in bed and I start thinking about it. I'm like, oh yeah, I need to do some deep breathing. But let your mind set a trigger for you when you want to do some deep breathing. Maybe when you're in the bathroom. Maybe when you're looking in the mirror. Maybe while you're making dinner. But implement some of that deep breathing into your life. And that can help you to deal with the overwhelm. It's almost as if you can breathe in fresh and release some of that overwhelm when you intentionally use breath or breathing. Lately, I've just been doing deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth, and I've really liked that. But I've also been a big fan of the 4-7-8 breathing. And you can just look that up online if that interests you, to find some more deep breathing techniques. But even just a few deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth, or as you think about it, can be really helpful in releasing some of the overwhelm that you are feeling. The next thing is to remove yourself. And I'll explain what I mean by remove yourself. What I mean is change your surroundings. If you are feeling really overwhelmed inside your house, it's just a little too much, things are weighing down, get out. Go outside, bundle your kids up and go for a short walk. Bundle them up and go for a short drive. Move from the front room to your bedroom, from the upstairs to the downstairs. Change your scenery. As you change your scenery, this can help you not stay stuck in that negative emotion and realize that you want to release it and you want to move on. You want to find the positive thoughts that help you in becoming the mom that you want to be. So remove yourself from the room, relocate, walk outside, call a neighbor to help with your kids, but do something to change up your current status. Maybe even just call someone. Sometimes just calling someone to chat is enough to get your mind off of the overwhelm that you are feeling. And the third one, which I probably should have said first, is to write everything down that you're overwhelmed about. You don't have to keep this list. You can rip it up and throw it away. But writing it down actually is another way to help release the overwhelm. It slows things down as you get it out, so it doesn't feel like so much, but it also helps you realize when and how you can make these things work. I was feeling some overwhelm a couple weeks ago when I felt the need to get my mom's calendar done. I usually design her a family photo calendar from all my siblings, and it was weighing on me and I was feeling overwhelmed, and it seemed really daunting to try and do this, like really hard. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to sit down and try and figure it out. If I don't figure it out, I don't have to mess with it. And by a miracle, it was actually easy to transfer the birthdays from last year's calendar to this year's calendar. And I thought it was going to be so hard. So sometimes when you just take the time to say, I'm just going to mess around with this for a few minutes, or I'm just going to give this project or this thing a few minutes, sometimes it can happen easier and faster than you thought. Other times it does not, and that's where you might want some deep breathing. Maybe it was good I included the deep breathing first. But nonetheless, writing it down gets it out. And if you want to keep this list, if it helps you to get through it and do the things that are causing you overwhelm, that's great. Or maybe if it's people that is causing you overwhelm and you can't do much about it, you can just write it down and rip it up. Do it as many times as you need to feel a little bit better about where you're at. Mama, I know that this is hard. I know that it can be a hard time of year with the cold and the winter and kind of feeling that cabin fever, like you can't go too many places, but you can do it. You can find the positive thoughts that will help you to become the person that you desire to be. I know because I have done it. As I have found more positive thoughts and replaced them with the negative, I have found deeper happiness, deeper satisfaction, and gratitude in my motherhood. And I want the same for you, which is why I am doing this free podcast. I have a passion to help mothers find positivity and have more of it. As you practice, you'll get better and it will be easier. The positive thoughts will come a little bit more natural to you. It does take intentionality, but you are strong and you are resilient and you can do this. I'm rooting for you this holiday season. Keep up the good work and the amazing things you are doing in your homes and in your family. God needs you, your kids need you, and you need you. I'm cheering for you. Until next time. Thank you for being a part of the Positive in Pregnancy and Motherhood podcast, for listening, for sharing, and most of all, for applying these tools into your own life to improve your own happiness so that you can find your own better thoughts for a better you in a positive pregnancy, in losing that stubborn baby weight, and becoming the mom you desire to be through taking small steps in thought and action to reach your goals. If you are a mother who has an inner desire to enjoy motherhood and pregnancy better, but you are having difficulty figuring it out, I can help you. I can help you find the small, doable steps without drastic changes to your everyday mom life. Reach out, let's connect, and let's see you move forward. My name is Jocelyn, and I thank you for listening. Until next time.